Issue 104. Silver Snidely shows up and starts throwing lasers at the Galaxy Freedom Fighters, with one of them hitting Rotor, which causes Twandu to say, "My God!" Silver Snidely then calls Talon a freak of nature because he's a villain, and grabs him by the tail, throwing him, and just when he attacks Mr. Omniscient, this Sonic manages to get him swept up by a tornado caused by super speed, and he then hits him with a psychokinetic blast. Hawk leaves everyone in the dust, telling them to hurry, and it's explained that he's a super antisocial type, always taking off on his own without telling them anything, like Sonic would. And they aren't suspicious of him betraying them? They all go into the spaceship, and after it turns out that Hawk is headed for the outermost edge of the solar system, Salita implies that maybe she used to be dating this guy, saying that she's the former cohabitant of the Cosmic Hawk body shell. And this causes this Sonic to think that he better reconsider getting involved with her because she's got a lot of baggage. Just from having one bad taste in boyfriends? Twandu asks how all this relates to Silver Snidely's attack, and Silver Snidely, who's still alive, says that they'll find out before they all perish, while replying to what Antoine said, as if he could telepathically hear what he was saying from that far away. It turns out that Robolactus is a roboticized, gigantic descendant of Robotnik, who, for no reason, as they didn't bother to give him a backstory or fruit an excuse, drains planets of their life force to satisfy his hunger, which they programmed him with for some reason. Actually, that reminds me of the motivation of the Robotnik in that silly story Tales of Sonic made up when the other one was sick, which also involved spaceship freedom fighters. So I guess that's us finally getting to see a story like that. Salita asks where her dock chips are, and Bunny says that she thought those were corn chips. How? Shouldn't she have noticed they weren't made of metal and stopped after trying to take a bite of even one? This is a joke that doesn't work, because it doesn't make any sense. They all see Robolactus in action and are told to get back to the bridge quick. It's revealed that he's about to destroy Salita's home, although she just said that all of her people there are gone, and she lives on the spaceship anyways. So one, there should be no people there to give him life force, and he should probably know that. And two, why should she care? This version of Sonic makes a plan that some of them will go help slow Robolactus down, while him and a few others will go bring weapons to use on him. And naturally they have to put on spacesuits before they leave. I like that they remember to make them do that. After Robolactus swats away the heroes attacking him, this Sonic decides that they should change tactics and disable his planet juicer. And Rotor somehow hears him from outside the spaceship and does what he's told. Rotor 27 is then knocked out into deep space, and after this Sonic says he'll never be able to breathe in deep space if he tries to run after him with his super speed. Talon says he could help him out with bands of Charmo-Rack. I guess it's a magic kitsune power of his that lets Sonic breathe in outer space. Unfortunately, Silver Snidely comes back, and Robolactus threatens to incinerate the entire solar system. What does he have to gain from this? Just spite? He's immediately really annoyed at Silver Snidely growing to his size and saying that they should leave this area because they have bigger fish to fry. Why do they program him to be able to grow to his size if he's not really allowed to? Somehow, this Sonic says that he thinks he knows, Sonic knowing something for no reason again, and wonders if Robolactus will take the bait. Silver Snidely explains that the planets in this solar system are not very rich in nutrients, naturally, since there's nobody left on them. Then he says that the Shark People's planet is better for them, and fortunately the Spring Fighters are all grateful for this, saying they deserved it, instead of being idiots and wanting to save them. And the story ends after Twandu says good riddance, just like I did to these guys. There was nothing inherently wrong with them, well aside from the fact that I'm sure their life story would be extremely repetitive, since literally all that happens to them is Robolactus tries to destroy a planet we're given no reason to care about, and they stop him. Other than that, they have the same personalities as the Freedom Fighters we know, so they're just as distinct and likable as them. But same, that's the thing. It'd be more interesting if they had totally different personalities. So yeah, Mike Gallagher wrote the first story, where Robolactus eats the shark planet instead, and the second story has the Down Under Freedom Fighters tracking the Bunyip down into a remote section of the Outback in a dried up riverbank, which shouldn't be dry. One of them complains about a stench. Apparently, according to the hippie, no one has ever seen a true Bunyip, since anyone who sees it doesn't live to tell a tale. Couldn't people just put up security cameras? Well, it'd be costly. After it's revealed that the bunyip is an extinct dinosaur, it rises up and grabs the platypus, and this leads to the kangaroo shooting it in the face with a laser, while the hippie is annoyingly still yammering on about what he knows about the bunyip in a dreamlike trance that's totally not from drugs. After the kangaroo gets grabbed instead, Guru snaps out of it, seeing Barbie get grabbed too after a tree had fallen, smacking the bunyip in the face. Then after they all seem to sink into the water, Guru sees a giant dam, and unfortunately the story ends right then and there. The entire issue was written by Mike Gallagher. And the second story, since I already summarized the first one, is about the Down Under freedom fighters getting dragged underwater by the bunyip and the hippie guy discovering a dam. That's about it. I still don't really care about these guys. Honestly, I'd be fine if Barbie Koala was the only one who survived all of them. At least I like her design. And her claw powers. I feel like if they didn't waste so much time on the bunyip attacking and just had it drag them all underwater right away, we could have ended the story arc in 2 issues instead of 1, but instead, padding. I'd like to point out that this issue and the previous issue were both by Mike Gallagher, one of the best writers in the comics from the very beginning. With all the complaining about Ken Penders being the worstest writer ever, you'd think this issue's story arc would have been written by him. I'm just glad we're going back to the Prime Dimension for the next issue. I mean, if you're gonna have a story arc in another dimension, I'd rather it be the anti-Mobius, fleshing the evil twins out more to make them deeper characters. But instead we were stuck in post-apocalyptic Depressingville.